Here are all the products that we'll be using today to make the bookmark, and they will be listed down in the description on YouTube. We'll be using Sensa Green, a eco-friendly embroidery thread with our design today. All right, so today we are going to make a bookmark. We're going to be using some kind of light twill. It's actually a napkin. I like to buy napkins when they're on sale. You get a pack of them, pretty inexpensive, and it's a nice kind of lightweight twill. Works really well for this one. With this particular one, I ended up using the trick film and realized I can't really get rid of all that extra material under there. So today we're going to be using a cut wash away. We'll expose it to water, and that batten type lace on the edge will be completely free of any other material other than the thread, and it's going to make it even softer. So that's what we're going to be making, and this is the design from Embroidery Library. I changed the colors to pink, but just some tones of pink that we're using in there, the Sensa. We'll throw these in as well. Any design that's called, this one's an in the hoop type design, and that just means you create a front and a back usually. So you notice on this, I cut out two pieces of that tan material, one for the front, it gets embroidered, and then just before you do the edges, you're gonna put the back piece literally on the back of the hoop. So that gives that nice finished look on the back side. So let's get started. So most of these designs, if it's applique, it's going to give you a separate design. This one had a separate design, just an outline of both the front and the back. So I realized that they were the same size, so I simply, I don't trust them when you print out. You gotta make sure you print it out at the exact size. So I typically will just take some tearaway like this, the All Stitch Rip Stitch 20. It's a soft, so it's easy to cut. It's not gonna be difficult to remove the excess. Once I bring it to the machine, I'm gonna do the outline. I only need one because I can use the same one for both the front and the back. So once I've taken that to the machine and embroidered it on the material, it looks like this. So that's actually the back side, that's the front side. That's just the file name so I could find it. So it's gonna, I do like to use a nice black or a dark color and just let it stitch out that design, and you can see that's the size of your tan material. So once you get that cut out, you end up with a piece like this, and this is my template. So now I'm going to move on to the other material that we're going to use, which is the All Stitch Fuse and Bond. So here I have, it's a napkin. I could do probably 4 different ones. If I squeezed it up a little bit more, I could do a bunch more. So I essentially just cut those into little squares like this. So I am going to need that. I want to make sure I know my front from my back. My front has some like twill kind of angled designs on it, and the back is much flatter, as you can see here. I've got my roll of Fuse and Bond. This is probably a 5-inch roll of Fuse and Bond. Has this release paper on it. One side and the other side has the actual heat seal. That's 2-sided, so that's important to know. I am going to bring my iron over. All nice and hot. So again, let's make sure I got the right side. This is the right side I want to embroider on and put on the back. And I want to take my Fuse and Bond with that shiny side, not the paper side. You can feel the difference. The shiny feels a little bit more kind of rougher, I guess, a little more rubbery. So we're going to lay that on the back side with the rubber heat seal side down. Go ahead and iron that. I am going to iron this after the fact, and it's going to give it some more stiffness. So there it is, ironed on. I'm ready to, I do like to give it a little press on the other side, give it a little flatness like that. So that, I'm gonna put my iron away. And then I'm gonna take my template now. I find the pencil writes a little better on the material as opposed to the plastic. If you have a material or a pen that will write on this, well, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna cut away any marks. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna mark just the corners because I'm gonna use the rotary cutter to cut this. So I just need this kind of marked for cutting. And I just need the corners. So I'm gonna line up the corners, and remember you need 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. Make sure you get those lined up well. You end up with that. So after you've made your marks, I've started cutting there. We're gonna cut along those corners, corner to corner, give it a nice edge. Know that typically these are on the small side. So I do try to cut on the outside or right on those lines at the very least. So we're gonna go ahead and use this Fisker rotary cutter. This is an older version of this guy. There's actually an updated one, a little nicer, available on allstitch.com. Try that one again. There we go. Oh, I need to press a little harder there. I go to the next one. Use my muscles on this one. Keep going around the square and get your pieces, both pieces cut out. So I've got one for the front, one for the back. But here we have those 2 pieces cut out. I've got them nice and cut out along those corners. And then we're gonna we have that fuse and bond on the back. I'll usually either take a pair of tweezers, sometimes you can grab the edge, or we're gonna grab the corners here. Probably something you kind of quicken up on the thing. There's one, and as you can see, it's shiny, so kind of rubbery feeling. That's your heat seal. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. All right, so while I was working on my 2 pieces for the bookmark, I went ahead and embroidered the first portion of the design, and it did that part of the batten lace, I should say, on the outside. Actually, that might be all of it, I'm sorry. So it did the circle or the square, rectangle, and it also did the batten lace. I took and I sprayed some of this on the back of this, even though it has that heat seal on it. I just want to hold it temporarily for now so that I can finish the design. And this is going to take place in 2 steps. The object is to get it centered over those little edges like I'm doing right here. There you have it. And now it's ready to go to the machine. So we've got the design on the front done, and we're ready to put the back piece on. I went ahead and sprayed this on here, on this side where the fuse and bond is. I'm gonna turn this over, and I still have my square that I can work with in order to line this up. So I wanna center that best I can. You want to be careful. You do want to press firmly. I put my hand underneath it to give it a little bit more, I guess, substance to press that on. So now this is going to give us that finished look. So we're going to put it back on the hoop. I should say we're going to put it back on the machine, and it's going to go ahead and do the satin stitch, the tack down and the satin stitch. All right, so the machine has finished it up. Here it is. There's the back side. We got that nice and tacked on. I did go a little off with my alignment with the pieces, so it is sticking out a little bit there. It's still gonna look pretty. Did want to let you know, between the fuse and bond and the 505 spray adhesive. It is a little gummy. So I did switch over to these LP needles. We'll put that item number down in the description when you're on YouTube. And if that's something that you're looking for, we have those available in the round shank that I used here on the commercial machine. And we also have them available in a cool sew for your flat-sided needles as well. So this guy's ready to come out of the hoop. This is a cut wash away. I did use 2 layers. I like 2 layers because it gives a little more stability and alignment. Didn't quite help me with my alignment today. You can use 1 piece for this, so if you're looking to be a little more efficient with your material, you can use 1 layer. There is a real light colored batten lace around the edge, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut as close as I can to that without trimming it. So you don't want to get so close that you end up cutting that. It will come unraveled. So I'm getting as close as I can. I don't know, maybe an 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch. Cut as close as you won't feel comfortable with. There's that. Go around and get the rest of that. One more trim here. And there we go. I could take this to the sink and I could put the whole thing underwater and everything will get wet and then you'd have to wait for it to get dry. I'm gonna try spritzing it with some water. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spritz right around here, right around the edge there. And then I can use an iron to kind of dry it out. And if I don't saturate it, we can work on that pretty quickly. Some of it's going away. Hot water is the best way to get rid of this Vilene. I am using a spray right now. Probably not the most efficient way. But there you go. Look at those edges. Nice and open. I'm gonna finish this up underwater and then I'll be back when it's all nice and dry. There is your finished product, Sensa Green. So that sustainably produced product there. Check out all the colors that we have available there. And you have a beautiful bookmark.
All Stitch, all the supplies, all the savings, every day.